Hello everybody, welcome back to Blade Bias. Hopefully you are dizzy now. I am very bad at telling people things and giving them compliments. Not really. I'm very bad at giving compliments to people to their face. Don't know why. I just am. So, I'm going to do it in this video because, oh Jesus, that was very dangerous. Because I feel like this would be a nice heartwarming video for Ethan to watch. This video is, of course, public, so all of you can see it, but this is really meant for Ethan, camaroEE, the man who is mostly responsible now for Blade Bias. Me and Ethan grew up together. We have baby pictures together. Been my best friend since we were actual, like, little baby shitters, and has remained my best friend up until we are legal adults and live in separate parts of the country. I am insanely proud and insanely just happy with the things that he has done. And I don't tell him this enough, and I feel like I really should. The big one, the main one, is obviously the Bally Awards. That is something that is related to this hobby that obviously all of you guys are going to know. When we started making ballad song videos, it was just a little, hey, I have an idea. And then we made the video, and then we were like, that was cool, we should make another one. And then when, we were sitting there binging Will Hirsch videos, he would come sleep over at my house, and we'd just watch Will Hirsch videos till 4 in the morning. And we were like, this is so sick. I wish we could make videos like that. I wish companies would send us things to review. I wish we were in a position where we get to experience all these things. We could only dream of doing something like that. Fast forward only a year later, 2 years later, and we attend our first Blade show, and people know who we are, and people are coming up to us and saying, hey, I like your videos. That is a position that we just dreamed of being in. And obviously, we did not expect to go that far, but it was like when Will first commented on Ethan's first video that we made together, and said something like, oh, this is really good video, love to see it. We were fangirling because this was just a crazy thing that we never dreamed of happening. And we had binged Will's videos for so long that it just didn't seem like there was that disconnect there that was like, nah, there's no way they're gonna notice us. And then they do. And we spend all of the first Blade show we went to just hanging out with Will and Brandon. And it's just insane how far we got together, and then after I left, how far Ethan continued to push. Because when we first started, we were just making, videos in my backyard, and, that was it. That's just what we did. And now, Ethan hosts one of the biggest ballad song-focused events every year, and that is the Bally Awards. I'm circling around to it. I'll get there eventually. And I am incredibly proud of him for the things he is doing and the mark he is making on this community. Because that was always my goal, was to make a mark on this community and make an impact to the point where people could, never forget about it. Which is something I talk about in the last video I uploaded a couple days ago, whenever it gets uploaded. And Ethan has not only done that, but pushed the bar so much farther than either of us could have ever imagined. Because when you take a step back, Blade Bias just breached 10K, which is crazy. Ethan hosts the Bally Awards every year. We're at a point where some of the knives that he has dreamed of having, people just send to him now. And that is something that we both, when we were first starting, would just sit there and fantasize about. And like, oh, can you imagine how insane it would be if Squid sent us? Can you imagine how crazy it would be to be able to try all these ballad songs? And here he is, trying whatever his heart desires, making some of the most consistent and well-received content in the community with Blade Bias, and is doing things that we didn't even... when we first started, if you said, hey, Ethan's going to host a ballad song award show that's going to have 200 viewers live. What? Excuse me? That's crazy. We would have never thought about that. But now, those are just the things he's doing. And I know it's very easy to just get lost in, you know, what you are doing, because I do it all the time with various different things. You kind of lose sight of, you know, how the effort it took to get there sometimes. And I'm not saying that this has happened, but I'm just saying that to put into perspective and just to kind of take a second to say, if you take a step back and just look at all of the things that Ethan has accomplished, I'm incredibly proud of my man. That sounded weird. Incredibly proud of my boy, you know? Back when we were 12 years old making shitty Minecraft Let's Plays and just like sitting there just in that old tiny ass room in his parents' house and just like, oh my gosh, we came a long way. And to know that Ethan is making big leaps and big strides in this community that we only just a couple years ago got into, and just would sit there and daydream about, you know, the things that were possible in this community, to know that he's doing it it makes me proud, and it makes me, like, all the stuff that I've wanted to do, he is now doing, and now doing in his own way that is paying off, and it is benefiting him. So it's just very heartwarming to see, because, you know, we've been through a lot together, and I've seen his ups and his downs, and where he was at a couple years ago compared to where he is now it's very nice to see. It's nice to see that he's enjoying something and he's having something that is really, he's making his mark, and he is making his name known in the community, no matter what the community is. This could be any community. It's just so nice to see him really being a substantial figure in this community that he does very much love. So that's kind of it. I'm very bad at expressing my things, but Ethan, I am incredibly proud of you. I don't say it enough, but you've come a long way, and knowing where we were just a few years ago, and kind of the ups and downs and rocky situations that we've both been in, and knowing your rocky situations that you've been in, I'm incredibly proud that you are where you are, and I know the journey is not over. There's still a long ways to go for both of us, and I will be here for all of it. As much as I leave the Balisong community and just like, or I should say not as much as, even though I left the Balisong community, we don't really talk as much because we were talking a lot about Balisongs. That was like the glue holding our conversations together for a while. At any point, it's so easy for us to just like find a new hobby and just like glue back together, just because, you know, that lifelong bond is very, very difficult to break. And I've seen things, or we've been through situations that may have broken lifelong bonds from people who are not as mentally sound or like as strong as we are. But here we are. And I just want to say that I'm incredibly proud of you. So that's about it. Yeah. So I don't know how to end this video, but yeah, keep doing what you're doing. I'll be here no matter what. Whether I'm interested, I hope you also know that whether I'm interested directly in the hobby or not, I am always keeping up with at least your stuff. I'm always kind of checking in on Blade Bias, seeing where we're at. I'm always checking in. I watched all of the Bally Awards. I was active, just kind of watching and along with the chat. I'm always here. I'm never, like, in disdain for anything. If you need any help with anything, I am here. And I always will be. So, that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. Go show Ethan some love. Bye-bye.